Let's get more of these essentia lever thingamajobblies. I'll probably make a decent amount of them. They seem quite useful. I'm probably just going to have to move the arcane workbench. The reason that I made a normal workbench is because I just didn't really like the look. It's a bit too dark. I don't know. But you can always go for the texture pack, can't you? Yeah. Okay, so do these pass the fist test? No, that's not... No, okay, that did not pass the fist test. You need a pickaxe to break those. Hello, little valvey thingy. And they broke pretty much immediately with, yeah, efficiency 5 pick. So, how do I know if it's open or closed? Do I have to, like... Okay. So when it's like that, that means it's, like, closed, right? And nothing can go through. So there's a cool little sound that plays. You just have to right click. You don't have to necessarily right click on the valve. In fact, you do have to have the thing selected. Okay. That does not seem to be doing anything, and none of them seems to be sucking. How do I make suction? Let's have a look in here. It didn't really say anything about generating suction. Advanced essentia tubes? What you want, where you want it. That sounds like what we need, actually. That's going to cost us 3 aqua, 3 pregantatio, 3 permutatio, and 3 auto. Let's go ahead and get that immediately, and that has generated something new. That's got the alchemical centrifuge, taking things apart. Right. Alright, advanced essentia tubes. Filtered essentia tubes, these things, work like normal tubes, except it is possible to mark them with labels. When marked, they will restrict essentia flow through them to what they have been marked with. Okay. Right, so they'll only filter the aspects that you want, I see. Shift clicking on them with an empty hand will remove the label. So as a filtered essentia tube requires an essentia tube and a Vise filter, so those are quite expensive actually. Restricted essentia tubes work like normal tubes, except they halve the any suction passing through them, typos, and that requires a piece of stone and a normal essentia tube. And directional tubes, which I'm guessing are over the page, only accept suction from one direction. The blue markings indicate the direction from which the suction will be accepted. Okay, I don't really quite understand this one too much. I guess we'll have to have a play with that at some point. Yeah, it seems like as an all, you're sort of gearing me up to build a massive essentia network here. It's definitely be cool, but yeah, okay. Right, so we've got other things that we need to make here. I'm going to keep going with this. I'm going to keep going. I really want to keep going. So okay, looks like we've got the easy stuff out of the way. Now we've got to do some research. Let's taking things apart. Or hard currency, or liquid assets. Essentia crystallization. That sounds a little bit more interesting than a centrifuge. They're both quite good. But I'll go with crystallization first. Looks like we're going to need some paper and some scribing tools to get that going. Awesome. Nice bright blue one. I mean, we've still got some rain. How good is... You have run out of ink! Okay, yeah, so I filled that up. I just thought that was empty, but no, it's okay. Okay, this one's quite small. Aqua, Vitreous, Permutatio, and Precantatio. Okay, well, what's going to connect those together, guys? We've got Vitreous right here. That goes between Aqua and Terra quite easily. Permutatio is auto. Okay, looks like we're going to have to use our... We're going to need to use our aspects, guys. Spoilers. Let's do something like this. Let's do Victus. That'll connect those two up just fine. And... So I know I can connect auto to Permutatio. I can connect auto and Peditio, but we'll go auto. Auto, where are you? Up there. Sorry, it moved position because probably of the new aspects. Tutemen. Right, so that's going to be Vitreous. Cool. to vacuous and potentia. I don't think there's anything that'll connect directly to Praecantatio. Praecantatio is just sort of a aspect that's off by itself, isn't it? That's magic. Enough said, right? Limus. Limus could have been a thing, somehow. I'm just trying to find something that has Praecantatio in it, to be honest. I'm just seeing if I can go around that, but it looks like I'm not. I'm going to have to kind of complicate things a little bit here. So we've got vacuous, we'll go vacuous, and so we'll go vacuous, a motus probably. That's probably what we have to do. Oh, I guess we'll just... That's probably the easiest thing to do. And then go vacuous. Yeah, that's a little bit more random, but we did manage to connect magic up to these. So cool, essentially, essentia crystallization, hard currency, or liquid acids. Let's get away from that rain. There we go. Right, read up on it. You have nearly mastered the art of turning concrete objects into liquid essentia. So doing the reverse is a simple matter. The essentia crystallizer draws in liquid essentia from a pipe network and slowly converts it into small shards of crystalline essentia. Crystalline essentia is safe to handle and very stable, I might add. The crystallizer either ejects the crystals into the world or into a container. It can be disabled with a redstone signal. Everything integrating into redstone. We're going to need like a giant control board along with our giant network of Vis, aren't we, guys? Supplying it with TerraVis will greatly increase its speed. TerraVis. Supplying it with TerraVis. What does that mean exactly? Is that in terms of an energized node? Well, we do have an energized Terra node, so that works out quite nicely. That's not really worded all that well. So we need great wood or silver wood, or any wood in fact, okay. 2 balanced shards, an alchemical construct, dispenser 2 iron, get you the crystallizer. So that makes crystallizer, it makes crystals of stuff. But what's that stuff useful for? And the alchemical construct, it's just one of those intermediary items, okay. Yeah, this one's under the Arcane Alembic, so I remember this. And I was sort of like, yeah, we don't really have access to that yet. Great wood plank, 4 essentia tubes, 2 essentia valves, 2 Vis filters. That's a total of... that is some quite expensive stuff, actually. Okay, so there's this. Not sure what to do with that yet. I just want to work out how to turn this into 64, guys. Is that so hard? I mean, come on. Come on, guys. And then we've got this thing over here, the alchemical centrifuge. Let's go ahead and get a research note for that, and research it up. This one's black. I knew I was going to do that. I knew I was going to do that. The alchemical centrifuge. So this one's a little bit larger, thankfully. Fabrico, Permutatio, Praecantatio, and Peditio. So Fabrico has Instrumentum, and Instrumentum can go to Auto. Permutatio can go to Auto pretty easy. This one can go to Auto, I guess, and we can just use Permutatio to turn that over to Auto. So, not a hard one. Definitely not a hard one. I mean, I don't know, I don't really find research all that difficult anymore. What do you guys reckon? We'll do something like that. That's good. And then we can do vacuous air modus again. Get those down. Modus. And Permutatio. We can probably just do something like Peditio. Is there anything that'll connect Air and Peditio? Hey. That works out quite nicely, actually. We're going to save on that Permutatio, basically. We could go something like Peditio, Permutatio, but, you know, we don't have very much of it. We could make heaps, I suppose, but, you know, just... I'd rather not spend aspects, I suppose, you could say. Heaps of Peditio, so... Let's go ahead and just bonk down another piece of vacuous. That one's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. So we've got the alchemical centrifuge. Let's get the Thermonomicon on the bar. Read up about this beautiful thing, and it looks like we've unlocked automated alchemy. Alchemy for the masses. I like automated alchemy. Yes, please. I want it. Alchemical centrifuge. The alchemical centrifuge is a wondrous... Dang it, rain. Dang it, rain. Dang it all. There we go. Okay. The alchemical centrifuge is a wondrous invention that allows you to break essentia into its component parts. Right. When compound essentia flows into the centrifuge from below... Compound essentia flows into the centrifuge from below. So compound essentia, anything that's not a primal aspect, by the sound of it. It will slowly be broken down, sort of makes a little bit more sense, into the primal or compound essentia that it is made from. Only one of the components is created for each point of essentia broken down, right? So it's what, like a 50-50? So, stoichiometry in chemistry in real life would not agree with you there. You know, you start off with 1 mole of Victus, you have 1 mole of Terra, and 1 mole of Aqua at the end. Anyway, the resulting essentia needs to be drawn from the top of the centrifuge because of the idiosyncrasies. Is that a word? Idiosyncrasies of the tube pressure system. It would be best to connect an essentia buffer to the top of the centrifuge. See next page. Okay, I was just like, wait, what? Where is this thing? Essentia buffer needs to be drawn because of the idiosyncrasies of pressure tube system best to connect an essentia buffer. I just need to try and understand what's going on here. So we have the alchemical centrifuge. It requires another alchemical construct, an alembic. It's going to need a piston as well as 2 essentia tubes. So this is getting quite complicated. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to build some kind of huge VS network. That's going to be tedious, honestly, but it'll look cool. The essentia buffer allows you to store a limited amount of essentia, 8 points total, though it can be made up of any combination of essentia types. Like a jar, it has suction. My jars don't have suction, though it applies the minimum amount of suction possible, 1. So does that mean that the suction here is not high enough? There is suction, but the suction just can't be read. Where is that tool? How do I make it? What was it? It was here, right? There we go, so that's quartz stick for those, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make that right now. Distractions! Yeah! I don't know, I like getting distracted. I am an easily distracted guy. But man, it plays havoc on YouTube video consistency, doesn't it? I'm so sorry. You gotta make it in one of these things. Okay. Oh man. I don't know, I'm just all over the place. I'm so excited. Right. Do that. Put it in. Essentia resonator. Hell yeah. Looks cool. Why couldn't I just get my wand to do this? Can I like add this into my wand? So we have 30 arbor suction, we have 30 arbor suction, we have 31 arbor suction. They're both sucking arbor. They're both trying to suck each other. I see. Contains that and it's... Okay. So they're both sucking at the same frequency. Okay, how do can I turn the suction off on these? I see. There's got to be a way to turn it off. Maybe a redstone signal. Just throwing it out there. What if I do that? Untyped. 29 over... It's just not a part of the network or something. That's 31 arbor. Okay. Right, let's keep reading though. No, I'm learning. This means it's usually only able to draw essentia from an essentia source that is directly attached to. Section. Okay. However, tubes can be Man, there are a lot of typos in the alchemy section of this Thaumcraft, yay. Tubes can be connected to all of its sides, meaning that it is invaluable for getting essentia out of devices like the centrifuges that could contain various variable types of essentia. Oh dear, I'm gonna have to read that more in depth off camera. You can attach bellows to the buffer. Each attached bellows increases its suction by 32%. How do you make bellows? Additionally, you can toggle individual connections on and off as with a normal tube, but if you shift-click a connection, it will choke the suction back to 1 or 0 on that side. So there's some interesting possibles when routing essentia. So this is like it's a super-duper mega tube by the sound of it. And it requires 4 glass vials, 2 essentia valves, and 2 essentia tubes, and a restricted essentia tube. Yeah, man. There's a lot of special stuff. Hold on. Attach bellows to the buffer. I don't know about arcane bellows. Where are they? Artifice? I don't have anything in Artifice. I got nothing. I got nothing. Okay. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for the alchemical centrifuge and buffer there, Asinor, but, yeah. Let's go ahead and do automated alchemy. Get this research. This might just be the end of the episode after this research as well. Man, I'm just gonna sit down and just read this, you know? Automated alchemy. Alchemy for the masses. So this one, oh yeah, that's a pretty easy one. It's just very big. It's going to require a lot of aspects to do. So let's go ahead and do it. Alright, that's going to connect to auto. Let's just bring these over to the Aya tree. It's going to be modus, Aya. Use up some of this arbor. Arbor, like so. That there. So can we connect Aqua to Aya? I think we can actually. Tempestus. Where is that? Right there. Alright. Get some of that. Okay, that's going to need to wiggle around a bit. We'll get another one. Do something like this, and then just wiggle it on. Just nudge it in there. Okay, and yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. Alright, and then we can throw arbor in there to save on space, which is quite good. Monk. Nice. Easy. I didn't even need to... I'm sort of just remembering these recipes off by heart now. So, automated alchemy, nice. Cool picture. What do? You didn't unlock anything. Looks like that's it for this tree. Automated alchemy. Up to now, alchemy has been somewhat of a hit and miss affair. Miscounted aspects, degrading essentia, and ingredients that require manual labour to mix. I know! Finally someone who's listening! This is finally a thing of the past. The Thaumatorium is a marvellous invention that allows a thaumaturge to select which formula to use and what catalysts to add. It then automatically draws essentia from available sources using tubes. As long as there is a supply... excuse me. As long as there is a supply of catalyst, it produces the required object perfectly every time. Call now in the next 15 minutes and we'll throw in a bonus! Thaumatorium absolutely free! I'm sorry. The crucible that forms its base does not require water, but a heat source is still needed. So crucible, alchemical construct. Right. So you need to throw 2 alchemical constructs on this. So they're a block. They're just a complete block. I see. That's going to require... Oh, okay, you need to... So that's the layout in the world, and then you need to right-click it. Okay. That's pretty cheap. Cool beans! When you access this device, you will see several slots. The top left slot is where you place the catalyst. Once you've done this, you'll be able to choose which recipe you wish to craft with that catalyst from a list of possibilities in the top right slot. The bottom bar shows the essentia required in the order they'll be required. It will also display progress bars once the machine is in operation. The created object is ejected out the front of the device or into an inventory placed in front of the ejection port. Normally, a thaumatorium can only have one active formula, but by attaching a mnemonic matrix to its side, you can increase the number of formulas it can keep track of. Each matrix increases the number of formulas by 2. The recipe for a matrix is 4 amber, 4 iron ingots, and a zombie brain. The first time that amber and zombie brains are being used for anything other than lighting or decoration or anything like that. So that's the first debut of zombie brains, and also that's the second debut of amber. Is there a word for a second debut? Because debut normally means first. Okay. So, increases the number of formulas. One active formula. Well, we want to have as many of these as possible, I suppose, to, bump up what we can make in this thing, so we can do elementum, night ore, balanced shards. What else can you make in there? Thaumium ingots. So we're going to need at least 2 of those from that. But there's no doubt going to be more things that we'll be able to craft in the Crucible in the future, but that will all have to be in another episode, because we are out of time for today. I hope that you guys have sort of enjoyed this episode of us sort of blitzing through the alchemy tree, perhaps a little bit faster than we should have. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to muddle around with these tubes a little bit off camera here, see if I can't work something up, and I'll update you guys at the start of the next episode. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching Thaumcraft 4.2 with Birdtross. I hope that you found some enjoyment in it. Thank you. What? See you next time, Kid Kaha. Brain frazzleness. See you in the next video before my brain dies. Just quickly wanted to throw on the end that it did not destroy the arcane boar. Did not destroy the wooden pickaxe. So yeah, you can pretty much throw any pickaxe in there and it'll not destroy it. Kind of convenient. It would have been nice to mention that in the Thaumonomicon gear. See you next time.